What? All right, we live. So you need to go get you something. I should be too on for Sabbath service. You can right up there to the 18th.
That's fine. Are we good to go, Alex? I can hear?
That's
Yeah. Shalom to Israel. Imagine, which means to stand. Upanya Pagam, which means to rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakraka, Daba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemaya, Nathalanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaflanawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalafnawa, Kabawafyanawa, Wala'ah, Dabaya'anawa, Banasaya ones, Abal, our shy knowledge, Mayan, Ra, Kayak, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wakapara, Lawalamium, Amun. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Akak, the prayer for the power. Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahushua, Baba Kosha, Nathalanawa, Akak, La Pa'a, Kal Makala, will call Manawa, Akak, La Tahor, Amatazariah, Akak, La Hakya, Hamathya, Akak, Awakawa, Atama out, the Garashun, by Shem Yahushua, the water Aman. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. The prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, Barak Banau, Wayashala, Wa'ah, Bayasaparis, Barak, Rapah, Magun, Hagun, Bash Salaki, Bash Shem Yahushua, the water Amun. What we just said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121. Asha'ah, Ayanda, Ahahari, Ma'ayana, Yava'ah, Isaiah, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Wa'aratazah, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Magalka, Al Yanawam, Shemarka, Ana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalta, Al Yah, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakarka, Wayarak, Malayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra, Yashamar, Afna Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Afta, Wabo I, Ma'itha, Wa I will Aman. I will lift mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83. Alahaya. All the Mayalaka. All the Salaki. All the Mayalaka. All the Harash. All the Shakwat. All. Ka Yahanna. Our Yabika. Yahanna Yawan. Wa Mashinarika. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Alamaka. Ya'ira Yumbo. Sawa. Where for your eye Tazawa. Altazat Pawandika. Amawa. The Kawa. Wanakakia. Magoya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Shem Yasha'ala. Iwa. Kaya. Now I Tazawa. La. Yahadwa. Alyaka. Baryat. Yakarafwa. Ahawya. Adawam. Wayashama Alya. Mawa'aba. Wahagari. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Halashat. I'm Yashapya. Tazawu. Gam Ashawu. Nalawa. Imam. Iowa. Zarawa. Lebandilawat. Salah. Aisha. Lahum. Kamatya. Kasaya Sara'a. Kayapya. Banakal. Koyashwan. Nashamatwa. Bayanda Ara. Iowa. Daman. La Adama. Shayathamwa. Nadayapawa. Kaira. Wakazaba. Wakazabak. Wakazalmanah. Calling to say a Kumwa. A Shah. Amara. Nairashak. Lanawa. Ah. Na'awa. Alahaya. Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagalgala. Kakwash. Napanyaraka. Kaash. Nabaira Yaira. Wakalahaba. Dalahat. Aryam. Khan. Daradaka. Basairis. Wabasama Paphos. Dabalam. Malaha. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shemka. Ya'awa. Yabashwa. Yep. Salaki. Wayabahawa. Ayai. Wayapara. Wayabakwa. Wayada Iowa. Kaya. Atha. Shemka. Ya'awa. Labaka. Al. Yawan. Al. Call. Parataza. Aman. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. After also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabez, at the brook of Kasan, which perished indoors. They became as dung for their earth. Make their nobles like Orez, and like Zed, yea, all their princes, as the box, and as Amunas, who says, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh with possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it. The prayer for the blessings of the power structure in Hebrew. Barak Atah Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, why Mayaka Allah, why Alahaya, Matazab Yah, Alawak Yahanna, Ha Alawakya, Ha Saranya, Ha Kwatazayanya, Ha Kayayoyo, Waha Wafia, Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shah, the one Amun. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yishabi, which means to be seated. All right, go ahead, clap it up. All right. We're in the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, and verse 11. So, like, oh. Here we go. All right. So, we're in the book of Leviticus, 25, and verse 11. Wabal, Hawa'a, Shana. So like it. You have to turn the
Yeah, I can put it on solid. I can put it on.
is it the top one right here? Just bear with us 1 second. So like you having a few technical difficulties this morning, but we ain't gonna let it stop us. The water. All right, this is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 11. Yoabal, Hawa'a, Shanath, Hakamashim, Shana, Thahaya, Lakam, La'a, Dazariah. So like it does Ra'iwa, Wala'a, Dakwa Tazarwa, Af, Sapayachya, Wala'a, Daba Tazawar, Thaba Tazawar, Af, Nazaria, verse 12. Kaya, Yawabal, Hawa'a, Kodash, Thahaya, Lakam, Man, Hashadah, the Aklua, Af, Thaba Af, verse 13. Bashanath, Hayobal, Hazaath, the Shabwa, Ayash, all, Achazathwa, verse 14. Wakaya, Thamakarwa, Mamakar, Lai Yathak, Laima Yathak, Awa, Gwana, Mayad, I'm a Yathak, all, Thawanwa, Ayash, Ath, Achayawa. It's like, yeah, Achayawa, verse 15. Bamasapar, Shanyam, Achar, Hayawabal, Thakwana, Ma'af, I'm a Yathak, Bamasapar, Shanya, Thabawa Salaki, Thabawa Salaki, Thabawa Yamakar, Lok, verse 16. Lapya, Rab, Hashanyam, Tharabah, Makwanafwa, Walapya, Ma'ait, Salakia, Hashanyam, Thamayat. All right, Makwanafwa, Kaya, Masapar, Thabawa'ath, Hawa'a, Makar, Lok. Verse 17, Wala'ah, Thawanwa, Ayash, Af, I'm Salakia, I'm Yathwa, I'm a Yathwa, Wayara'ath, Ma'al Alahayat, Ma'alahayat, Kaya, Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 11. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed. Verse 12. For it is the jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. And the year of this jubilee ye shall return every man into his possession. Verse 14. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. Verse 15. According to the number of years after the jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the first of the fruits, he shall sell unto thee. Verse 16. According to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doth he sell unto thee. Verse 17, ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy power, for I am the Most High, your power. All right. We're in Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 18. Why Aishitham, Af, Kokwathia, Wa'af, Mashapatya, Thashamarwa, Wa'ishayatham, Atham, Wayashabatham, Al, Ha'arataza, Labatak, verse 19. Wanathana, Ha'arataza, Karya, Wa'akalakia, Wa'akalatham, Wa'akalatham, Lashabai, Wayashabatham, Labatak, Aliyah, verse 20. Wakaya, Tha'amar ma, Na'akal, Bashana, Hashabayith, Hun, La'ah, Nazarai, Wala'ah, Na'asap, Ath, Thabawa Athnoa, verse 21. Wataza Wayafia, Ath, Barakafia, Lakam, Bashana, Hashashayath, Wa'ishaf, Ath, Hatabawa'a, Salakia, Hatabawa'a, Lashalash, Hashanyam, verse 22. Wazaratham, Ath, Hashanah, Hashemayanath, Salakia, Hashemayanath, Wa'akalatham, that's not, Wa'akalatham, Man, Hathabawa'a, Hathabawa'a, Yashun, I, Hashanah, Hathashayath, Salakia, Hathashayath, I, Bawa'a, Thabawa'ath, Tha'aklawa, Yashun. Right, verse 23. Oh, damn. Or am I in 26 and 1? I'm in 26 and 1. Yeah, it's 26 and 1. Let me make sure. No, it's supposed to be verse 23. So like it went over to the next chapter. So like about that. We're in Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 23. All right. Wa'arataza, La'ah, Thamakar, Latazamath, Kaya, Laya, Ha'arataza, Kaya, Garyam, Watawashabyam, Atham, Imadya, verse 24. All right. Wabakal, Arataza, Achazafkam, Ga'ala, Thafanawa, La'arataza. All right. Let's go back up. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 18. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land in safety, and the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your field and dwell there in safety. And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase. Verse 21. Then I will command my blessing. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. Verse 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store. So like your Elisha. I don't know what my phone is doing. It's cut off. Your phone? Yeah. I'm sure it's still recording, but It should be still recording, but it shouldn't be cutting off like this. It's because this thing here. Is it back on?
It's cut up. It's like sideways or something.
It shouldn't be now. Look at it now, Elisha.
It's wild, yeah.
Monitor that if you don't mind. This screen, I'll tell you if you need to just tap it, because what's gonna happen is it goes dark. All right. It's fine right now, though. Right now. Yeah, but I'm a monitor. It shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why. Shalom, sis. All right, so like, go ahead, clap it up. Like I said, we having some technical difficulties that we normally don't have, but bear with us. We still having the Lord's Sabbath service, a high holy day. So just bear with us, okay? All right, we're in Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 20. I'm gonna read 22 again. All right, Salaki that it cut off. Right, we back on live. Salaki about that. You understand? Check in, comment, like, share, subscribe. All right, we're in the book of Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 21. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. Verse 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store. Verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me. Verse 24. And in all the land of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption for the land. All right, Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 25. All right. Kaya, Yamawak, Akayak, Wamakar, Ma'akazafwa, Wama'a, Ga'alwa, Hakorah, Alyawa, Waga'al, Af, Mamakar, Afkiwa. Verse 26. Wayash, Kaya, La'a, Yahaya, Lawa, Ga'al, Wahashayag, Salakia, Wahashayaga, Yadawa, Wamataza'a, Kadya, Ga'alathwa. Verse 27. Wakasha, Af, Shanya, Mama Karwa, Wahashaya, Af, Ha'ida, La'ayash, Ashar, Makar, Lawa, Washa, La'achazafwa. Verse 28. Wa'am, La'a, Mataza'a, Yadawa, Daya, Hashaya, Lawa, Wahaya, Mama Karwa, Bayad, Hakwana, Akwa, Salakia, Akwa, Ide, Shanath, Hayawabal, Wayataza'a, Bayabal, Washa, La'ach, Salakia, La'achazafwa. Verse 29. Wayash, Kaya, Yamakar, Bayath, Mawashah, Ayar, Kawama, Wahayatha, Galafwa, Thumb, Shanath, Mamakarwa, Yam, Thahaya, Ga'alafwa, verse 30. I started at 26, didn't I? I started at verse 25. I started at 25, the water says. All right, verse 30. Wa'am, La'a, Yaga'al, Ide, Mala'ath, Lawa, Shana, Thamayam, Waquam, Hawayath, Ashar, Bayar, Ashar, Lawa, Kama, Latazamayath, Latazamayath, Lakwana, Athawa, Ladarafua, La'a, Yataza'a, Bayabal. Verse 31. Wabathia, Hakata Salakia, Hakatazaria, Ashar, Ayat, like Salakia, Laham. I'm sorry. Ayun. That's not Ya. Ayun. Laham. Chama. Sabya. Al. Shada. Ha'arataza. Yakasha. That's Yakashaba. Yakashaba. Yeah, Yakashab. Salakia. Yakashab. Ga'ala. Thahaya. Lawa. Waba Yabal. Yataza A. All right. Go back up to 25, Leviticus chapter 25, verse 25. Now listen to this scripture, all you Christians, right? This is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 25. If thy brother be waxen poor and have sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. It is unlawful and against God. It is absolutely against God, ungodly, for you to use your own people, for you to oppress your own people. What we have in America and what we have in our communities is we have a bunch of black mayors and governors, a lot of black attorney generals, black vice presidents, black governors, black aldermen that oppress black people. Every black city that has a black mayor, the city is doing terrible. The city is the #1 crime rate, like Baltimore. Baltimore has a black mayor. Baltimore is #1 in crime. I'm gonna come to you in 1 second. Memphis has a black mayor. Memphis is #1 in crime. St. Louis has a black mayor. Kansas City has a black mayor. Chicago has a black mayor. All doing terrible with black on black crime because black people have learned from the Christian church to oppress their own people. You are not allowed in the Bible to oppress your people. You are not allowed to hold the debt that your brother owes you over his head, the debt that your people owe you over their head. That is unlawful. It is ungodly to watch your people suffer, to watch your people waxing poor, to watch your people sell all of their belongings just to live in squalor as you sit up in a mansion driving a Rolls Royce or a Bentley Museum. That is unlawful. That is ungodly. I don't know where black people get the culture of I got it, my family has it, so it's okay. As long as my children are good, as long as my family are good, I'm okay. No, brother, no, sister. If your people are doing terrible, then you are doing terrible. If your people are suffering, then you are suffering. If your people are being oppressed, then you are oppressed. That is the way a godly man thinks. That's the way that Moses thought. It's the way that Joshua thought. It's the way that Caleb thought. It's the way that Samson thought. It's the way that Ezekiel, Isaiah, Nahum, Obadiah, Jesus Christ, a black man from the tribe of Judah. That's the way God's black and Hispanic and Native Indian prophets have always thought, have always written in the Bible. You are not allowed to oppress your people. If you see your people are poor and you have money to redeem them, then save their life. You see a brother on the street and all he wants is $1. What do you say? I'm not giving him no money. He's just going to go buy drugs. I'm not giving her no money. She should have did better with her life. You're a hypocrite because if you were in the same predicament, you would want someone to help you. And that's the importance of the laws of God. The importance of why it's so important to keep the laws of brotherhood that Christ died for, because without them, we would all be selfish like the white man is selfish. We will be selfish like Donald Trump and MAGA and Charlie Kirk, who's not here anymore because of how selfish he was. We are not allowed to live a selfish lifestyle like the Christian preachers that you idolize for the last 70 years in the black and Hispanic community. God doesn't allow us to watch our people suffer and struggle and die and do nothing about it. You can do it in the church, but it is not allowed in the I.S.U.P.K. It is not allowed in our culture, in our laws, in our code of conduct. You must redeem your people. You must save them. That's what it means to redeem somebody. It means to save them. As we suffering down Prospect, in Harlem, in the 5 boroughs of New York City, you're going to have to tap it, Elisha. It ain't went black yet, but you're going to have to tap it real quick. There you go. There you go. The water. As we suffer and die in Chicago and Memphis with black mayors, we suffer and die with a dark-skinned president, suffered and died by the hands of the police, by the hands of drugs and fentanyl and crack and cocaine and heroin. We suffer and die full of black politicians, full of black preachers who steal our money and do nothing to save our lives. That is unlawful, and it is unacceptable, and it is ungodly to do. It's right here in the laws of God in Leviticus, the 25th chapter. You are not allowed to watch your people live in squalor like Dr. King did for 10 years as he led the civil rights movement. And on purpose, he led poor black people out of the South. On purpose. On purpose, he led poor black people, our grandmothers and grandfathers, out of Alabama, Mississippi, the Delta, Louisiana, Florida, and Georgia to go live. We came from squalor in Mississippi to go live in squalor in DC. We lived in poverty in Louisiana just to go to Chicago and live in more poverty. We came from Texas living in poverty in Houston and Dallas just to go to Kansas City and Detroit and Minneapolis, Minnesota to live in more poverty. That's thanks to your Christian preachers. God says that you are not allowed to do that. We're not allowed. We have to take care of each other. Does everyone understand? We have to love each other because what I don't have, you don't have. And what I do have, you have. That's the way we must live our lives. There was a famous poet by the name of John Donne who had an incredible poem. Now, it's not the Bible, and he wasn't black, but this was an incredibly selfless poem to teach young children why it is so important to depend on the next person and why we are in this together. He said that no man is an island and tired of himself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me because I am a part of mankind. So never know for sin to who the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Meaning that if I leave this earth, this death that I lived or this life that I lived have affected this brother. It's affected this sister. If you go, if you die, if you're poor, it affects me. It affects me. What did Harry S. Truman say? The buck stops here. He said that the presidents before him kept passing the buck, passing the buck. Well, it's not my responsibility. Are these black people living in squalor in Kansas City? Well, it's not my responsibility. I'll just let the next mayor take care of it. Isn't that what your management does on that job that you work? You got all those problems that you have going on at your job, at your slavery. And what does your manager do? Well, we'll let the next person take care of it. Right or wrong, we'll let the next person take care of it. That's what the government does. We'll let the next president, we'll let the next cabinet take care of it. We'll let the next mayor take care of it. I'll let the next preacher take care of it. But pastor, we're living in poverty right now. My son is on drugs right now. My daughter is a prostitute right now. What are you doing? They just keep passing the buck. God doesn't allow us to pass the buck. God makes sure that the buck stops here. We are responsible for one another. That's what that poem means. That's what the scripture is teaching you, teaching your children, teaching our posterity. We are a part of one another. We are a part of one another. If your daughter and your son are on crackhead fiends, prostitutes selling their bodies, selling drugs, in prison, locked away, guess what, brother? It affects all of us. It affects all of us. If you are doing bad, so am I. So am I. Never know to sin for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. If you're doing terrible, I'm doing terrible. If you're doing good, I'm doing good. That's the way the Lord structured his life. That's the way the Lord structured Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And it is very important to get out of the American selfish Christian way of life and live the way that God told us to, which is completely selfless. The way our black King Christ showed us to, and that was completely selfless. Everyone understand? Go ahead, Elisha. You had something you want to say?
Kind of had a couple of points when you was talking about people being selfish and how they wouldn't give it's a lot if my voice ain't carrying on. I believe they can hear me too. But how you were saying like they wouldn't give a homeless person $1, right? Because they afraid what the homeless person might go do with the money. Mm-hmm. As if the selfishness that we display, that we learn from our oppressor, we learn from the Christian church. You'll go make Nike rich. You'll go make Rolls Royce rich. You'll go make Bill Gates rich. You'll go make all these oppressors rich and all these wealthy people rich. Mayweather, and you never question what they do with the money.
That's right.
You understand? They get high too.
That's right.
They use drugs. They buy prostitutes. We support these wealthy people, and they're just as worse, if not worse, than the people that you see down and out that don't have any money.
That's right.
They just have money. You know what I mean? And a lot of it comes from respect of persons. You understand? And what you said was so heavy. If your nation is struggling, that means you're struggling.
That's right.
And we learned that from the Christian church. And this is the second part. This is actually what I wanted to tap into. Because if you notice on TikTok, it's a trend going on where a lot of people are calling churches because of the snap. And
I ain't seen that. That's a good trend.
This is a trend.
Give that a hand.
Yeah. So listen. And they're exposing the Christian church. So they're calling the Christian churches.
It's about time.
And they playing
gospel music in the background.
No, they're playing like audio of babies crying.
Oh, okay.
It'd be like, my baby's starving. They hasn't ate in 2 days.
That's a good trend.
Can you help me with some food? And the Christian churches are like, why are you calling us?
Yeah, get your food bank.
Yeah, go find someone to help you feed your child, because obviously we're not going to feed it. Why are you calling us? And they're exposing the Christian church, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And this is what the I.S.U.P.K has been saying since 1969.
Yeah, right.
The Christian church isn't there to help you. The Christian church is there to extort you, to get your money, and to, what did you say earlier? To use the people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We're reading a Bible verse where you shouldn't be. It's a Torah. We're reading a Bible verse right here, that you shouldn't use your people. That's right. That's what the Christian church specializes in, is using people.
Yeah, right.
You understand that they don't help anyone, and that's true. You can look it up on TikTok. It's people calling the Christian churches, asking for help, and the Christian church isn't doing anything.
Listen, like you done like that. Give them a hand. Listen, that's passing the buck. Well, call your governor, call your mayor. Well, the mayor told me to call our local food bank. Nigga, you are the food bank. Where's all my money going every week? Since my grandmother have lived on the earth, she's been giving you all of her money every week. Then my mother, then my father, now me. I'm the third generation giving you my money. Now my kids, they're the fourth generation. 4 generations of black people giving the Black Christian church all their money. Where is it going? The EBT getting cut off should not affect black people, because black people's economy is the Christian church. The Christian church have stole over $400 billion with a B since the 1970s, since after Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement. Where did all that money go? I think I know right where it went. It went right into that Christian pastor's pocket, so he can go right here on Prospect, buy prostitutes, Rolls Royces, and a new house. That's where your money went. On jewelry for a man that molests your children. I have something better for you to do with your money. You should pay your tithes to Commanding General Yahanna. Give that a hand. You should pay your tithes to Commanding General Yahanna, and you should give your money to the I.S.U.P.K, because we know how to use that money and what to do with it. Because our brothers and sisters in here won't need EBT. EBT getting cut off didn't affect nobody in the I.S.U.P.K. Why? Because we are responsible for one another. Because if thy brother be waxen poor and have sold away some of his possessions, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. We save our people. We don't pass the buck. The buck stops here. I am the camp leader here in Kansas City. If a brother or sister has a problem, I don't say, well, you're gonna have to talk to this brother. You're gonna have to talk to this sister. That's not the way Commanding General Yahanna raised us. That's not what Hebrew Academy taught us. The buck stops here. You come to me, I am going to solve your problems. Me. That's what's going to solve your problems. The first brother you speak to, you call a brother, he say, hey, I got you. Just hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me call the general. Let me call my camp leader. Let me call this. And before you know it, your problems are solved. Because that is the system the Lord set up here in the I.S.U.P.K, because it's the system God set up in the Bible with Moses. And that's what we follow. Unlike your Christian churches who you're getting on the phone with on TikTok, telling them my baby's starving to death. What are you going to do? Well, sister, you're just going to have to pray and ask Jesus to help you. We're not praying and asking Jesus to help us. Jesus Christ gave us the power to help our people. And we're going to use the power of Christ to help our people. Elisha, you're going to have to tap it again. Now. Tap it one more time. Right? You are not allowed to be Thawada.
You may have your screen like
I think it is. I think it is a timer. God, this is why it's so important because today shows you, just yesterday, today shows you why it's important to not be selfish. The government shut down, so nobody gets EBT. Just yesterday, in all, pretty much virtually every state, they said to check your EBT cards because the state issued the payments. Brother, do you know 1 hour after the state issued EBT payments in Pennsylvania, here in Missouri, and in Kansas, and other states as well, but those three I know for a fact, the Supreme Court struck down the decision of the states to issue you your EBT money.
So
that's how, go ahead.
So they took it back?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. They took it back. The Supreme Court said, nah, we see the states and the governors, they want to give you the money that belongs to you. We're going to take it back. And it was not even an hour after people was excited, checking their cards, and I got my $1,000. I got my $1,500 for my food this month. The Supreme Court said, this money is coming back. Now, what did your pastor do? How come your pastor and your church wasn't prepared for destruction of America? This government shutdown is a part of the end of America. It's a part of Babylon falling. If we don't adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, if we don't listen to the Lord and the word of God in Leviticus 25 and 25, there's going to be a lot more black people waxing poor, and there won't be no churches to save you. There'll be a lot more Hispanics and Native American Indians that are waxing poor in the barrio, in the ghetto, and on the reds. And there will be no Christian churches, no government officials, no handouts to save you. We're going to have to save ourselves by simply doing what the Bible says. And the Bible says to redeem your brother, to save him in his poverty. Don't allow him to go, and now he has to sell everything just so he can make ends meet. No, we're not going to allow that in here. We're going to help brothers and sisters like we've been doing since 1969, because it's what's in the Bible, and that's the only thing we follow. Everyone understand? This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 28. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it until the year of Jubilee. And in the year, so like in the Jubilee, it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. The Lord even makes a way for you to redeem the things that you have. Do you know that our Jubilee is the 50th year in our land where you may have a debt. I may have a debt to you, sis. I may have made you some cowgirl boots. And I should say you made me a garment and some cowboy boots. And I didn't pay you all the money. And it's been 6 months and I still ain't paid you. It's after Passover. It's 2 years after Passover. Now you see me at the third Passover, like, it's a lot, yes, sir, but where is my $600? You only paid me $600. The total was $1,200. I need my $600. Oh, Salaki says, I'm gonna get you next year. I'm gonna get you next year. The Bible, and I'm poor. That's why someone, just so you know, white people are so terrible and so evil that poor people need the EBT money, which is why it's so disgusting. The Supreme Court struck it down because they need that to buy food because they're poor. And don't tell me about how they need to get jobs, because people who have EBT, over 50% of them work, right? And they're still poor. That goes to show the level of poverty and oppression that our oppressor inflicts on us. But nevertheless, if I come to you and say, Salaki says, I don't have it because I'm waxing poor, I'm poor, that's why I can't pay the money back. And you say, all right, I'm gonna just take all your belongings. That's what the Christian church would have you do. That's what America and our oppressor would have you do. They would say, well, listen, since you can't pay the $600, it's called usury in the Bible. Usury is credit. I'm gonna take all your belongings or collateral. Since you can't pay me back, I'm gonna just take everything you own. The Bible says, no. You are not allowed to do that. Now you're oppressing your brother, and you're not allowed to oppress your brother. If I owe you $600, guess what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to suffer me. Does everybody hear that? You see that? Passover is right around the corner. There's plenty of garments and dresses and shoes and hats and garments and headpieces being made. If a brother or sister, man, forgot your things, or he can't pay you, or she can't pay you the full money, guess what you have to do? Somebody finish my thought. You're gonna have to let it go. You see that? You see how we just, now guess what that brother or sister sees in you? Now guess what that does to their esteem? Now they see this place, the I.S.U.P.K, the Bible, the kingdom of heaven. I'm not oppressed for being poor. In America, you're oppressed for being poor. That's the reason why you are oppressed. Rich people don't get oppressed.
even though they have the money to pay a $25 million bail. Rich people don't ever get a $25 million bail. You know who does? Some man that's homeless, that's poor. That's the reason he's getting a $25 million bail, because he doesn't have the money. You see how that works in America? Not in Israel. You're not allowed to oppress your sister or brother. If he don't have the money to pay you back, you can work something out with him. You can take him to counsel. But you are not allowed to say, well, just give me your car. Well, just let me see your, let me get your daughter. This was going on at a time. And the Lord said, no, that won't be my people. You are holy people. You're not allowed to oppress each other. You're not allowed to break each other down more and oppress each other more to make each other more in poverty, like the white man does to his own people, which I will never understand. You're not allowed to be like the other nations. You are supposed to suffer that brother and sister. If you don't have your money, she don't have your money. Go make another garment and sell it to somebody else and make the money back. That's all you do. You learn how to suffer your people. Why? Because if you were in that predicament, you would want someone to do it for you. And that's the nation that the Lord designed. It's the rules. It's in our, what do they call that? And it's a major tenet in our belief system. It's for us to suffer each other. It's for us to not be selfish. That's a part of our code. It's a part of our laws. Everyone understand? This is verse 30. I'm sorry, verse 29. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year, within a full year may he redeem it. Once again, like I was saying, Jubilee. So that year of Jubilee, guess what? All your debt is forgiven. The Lord created something. The Lord is for poor people so much that he made it to where not only does someone have to suffer your poverty, because it's not a sin to be poor, and don't let old Christians tell you otherwise. It's a sin to be poor in the church. It's a sin to be poor in America. It's not a sin to be poor in the Bible, right? And it's not a sin to be poor in the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General Yahanna. It's a sin to be poor in the I.U.I.C. Do you know that? Do you know that in the purple pigs of the I.U.I.C., you have to have a job. You cannot ever not work, which means what? If you get laid off, what are you? You're just a bum. Where else does that happen in the Christian church? A man has to have a job. You're not allowed to be poor. It's a sin to be poor everywhere else. Not in the Bible. God loves the poor. You understand? He loves the poor. He's the defender of the poor. And so because of that, he makes up rules and laws so that people have to watch out for the poor, because that is what respect really is. It's looking back at the brothers and sisters who don't have it. That's what that is. Unlike in America, you respect Elon Musk, who has all of the money. You respect Donald Trump, who has all of the money and power. Not in Israel. We look out for the brothers and sisters who don't have it, That's the way God designed this nation. Verse 30. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city, I read that, verse 31, Salakia. But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 32. Salakia. Why Salakia? Why? Yeah. Why yeah. Halawaya. Salakia. I don't know why I read it like that. Salakia. I'm trying to count these 7 verses in my head while I'm reading at the same time. All right, I'm stopping at 38. Salakia. Wah. Halawayam. Bathya. Arya. Achazatham. Gaalaf. Iwalam. Thahaya. Thahaya. Lalawayam. Verse 33. All right, there we go. Verse 33. Wa ashar. Yaga'al. Man. Halawayam. Wayataza'ah. Mama car. Oh, I like shop. Tap it. Salaki. I'm glad I caught it. You can tap it anywhere. There you go. Salaki. The water. All right. This is verse 33. Wa ashar. Yaga'al. Man. Halawayam. Salaki. Wayataza'ah. Mama car. Bayaf. Wagayar. Achazafwa. Bayabal, Kaya, Bathia, Arya, Halawayam, Hawa'a, Akazatham, Bathawak, Banya, Yasha'ala. Verse 34. Washada, Magarash, Shalaki, Magarash, Arayaham, La'a, Yamakar, Kaya, Akazath, Iwalam, Hawa'a, Laham. Verse 35. Uh-oh, Shalaki. I don't know how to get rid of this thing, Elisha. It shouldn't bother me. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 35. It's like a little screen that popped up from this blue letter Bible. Wakaya, Yamawak, Akayak, Wamata, Yadawa, Aimak, Wahaka Zakwath, Bawa, Gar, Wata Washa, Wakaya, Aimak. Verse 36. Oh, Zakwak, Ma'awath, Salaki, I'm sorry. Ma'athawa, Nashak, Wathara Bayath, Watharabiath, Wayaraath, Ma'alahayak, Wakaya, Akayak, Aimak. Verse 37. Oh, there we go. I got rid of it. All right, here we go. Verse 37. Af, Kasapak, La'a, Thathan, Lawa, Banashak, Wana, Waba Marabiath, La'a, Thathan, Akalak. Verse 38. Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Ashar, Hawataza'afya, Athakam, Ma'arataza, Matazarium, Lathath, Lakam, Af, Arataza, Kana'ain, Lahayawath, Lakam, Salakia, La Alahayim. Right? This is Leviticus chapter 25 in verse 32. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. Because the Levites, it was their job to be a Levite. You understand? It was their job to be, they born into a priesthood. Their only job was being a priest. They couldn't go be a farmer. They couldn't be a doctor, a lawyer. Their job was being a lawyer in the law, right? Their job was being a priest of the Lord. So that's the reason why there were laws made specifically for them, because that was they wouldn't have had any homes. You understand? Or if the Lord didn't look out for the priest, right? If the Lord didn't make laws for them to receive this pay, to receive this house, then they would have never had no money or would have never had nowhere to sleep. They would have been sleeping in the temple. You understand? Because that's the only job they can have. Everyone understand? Let's see, we're at verse 34. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. Verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, here it is again, 10 verses down. We just read 25 and 25. This is 25 and 35. It's saying the same exact thing, which is so heavy that the Lord is reiterating to his people. You are not allowed to just watch your people suffer and die and be poor and live in squalor. You have an obligation to help them. You understand? This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. You cannot watch your people suffer and die and live in poverty and beg the white man for food, which is so degrading to see your sisters and your brothers depend on your oppressor. You know, do you know how you know that we are slaves? because no other race of people has the people who enslave them control their food supply. No other race of people. Do you see the Jewish letting the Germans control their education, their food, their resources, their housing department? No other race does that. Not the Asians, not the Arabs, not the Africans. The Africans is waging war with the French. The Africans in Nigeria and Cameroon said, we're not paying you any more money, because the Africans are smarter than, not smarter, I'm sorry. The Africans don't want to be slaves like the Negroes in America, like the Mexicans in America, like the Levites, the Haitians here in America. They don't want to be like us. They want to be free. While we vote for white people to be over our Secretary of Education, you let your oppressor control your children's education? What other race of people does that? The frogs don't allow their enemies to control what the tadpoles learn. The lion, the gazelle doesn't allow the lion to control their resources. No entity, no being, no living thing will allow their enemy, their oppressor, to control their livelihood, how they make money, where they can live, their housing, their resources, their education, their food supply. No other race does that. We are the only people in God's creation that allows the people who once enslaved, lynched, murdered, and raped our grandparents to still in 2025 control the way we live. No other race does that. Nobody. Not the Asians, not the Europeans, even the Irish. In 1848, during the potato famine, they didn't let the British control how they lived. They still had their own language, their own culture, their own education, their own housing, and they lived under the oppression of the British. We're the only people who do. You know why? Because of disgusting Christian preachers and black leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that sold black people to the oppressor. Your Christian preacher like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, who are sellouts, like Officer Tatum and Candace Owens, who are sellouts. That's the reason why our people are oppressed still in 2025 under our oppressor. I'm gonna come to you 1 second, Elisha. That's the reason why. That's why you let your oppressor, who once enslaved your grandmother, now is teaching your daughter her history. No other race does that. That's why you let the same white man who lynched your great-great-grandfather teach your son his history, control his food, control where he can live. We're the only people who do it. You know why? Because we are the people, according to the Bible, who are in slavery. We're the real Jews. And the Bible says that our gates languish. Our gates languish. All of the things that are meant to protect us have fallen. That's what it means for them to languish. They've fallen. They've fallen. That's why your brothers and sisters are oppressed. That's why we're poor. That's why we live in squalor and in projects and shoot each other and kill each other. And the same people who want us to do it are in charge of us. That's no coincidence. That's no coincidence. Brother, it's time that we turn back to the Lord and serve our God, the Most High God of this Bible. Allah watched you in slavery. For all you black Muslims, Allah watched black people be put in chains. Allah is the God of the Arabs who sold black people to the Europeans on their ships, on their merchant ships, who castrated Negro males so they can watch over their harems of their wives. That's what Allah did. All of you niggas that want to be Moors, the Moors sold black people into slavery. For all of you Negroes that want to be American and salute the flag as America guns down your black and Hispanic sons in the street, ripping apart abuelos and the families of the Mexicans in the streets of Los Angeles and Chicago and Florida and New York. That's the same God of America that allows this to happen in 2025. And you want to be Christian and Moor and Muslim and everything except being God's chosen people. It's time we turn back to the Lord, man. Go ahead, Elisha. Tap that, and then you can say what you had to say.
I just wanted to hit on when you was talking about the Candace Owens and the Tatums and all those so-called black conservative sellouts. If you notice, a lot of them have been, I'm not going to necessarily say exposed because they've been exposed for being sellouts, but if you're going to join yourself as a black conservative to that party, you're joining yourself to racism, and you have to belittle your own people. And now those white conservatives that they, are, supposed to be buddy with, they're exposing them for being coons.
Oh yeah.
The black, so-called black conservatives. So, yeah, you, it's no way to join yourself to your oppressor system to make you feel like you're going to fit in. There's just no way.
That's right.
You understand? Even if you're a sellout, they're going to remind you a nigga in one point of your life. You understand? Because the system that they created is for them. The Bible is a constitution and a system created for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
And if we embrace that, it's like it. And if we embrace that, we would be better off.
Yeah, man.
You understand? That dream that Dr. Martin Luther King, who wasn't even a doctor, sold black people trying to join hand in hand with the oppressor, has failed us over and over and over ever since he made that movement. That movement has such an impact that, like, we're still here today trying to explain to our people that we're greater than our oppressor. We are better than our oppressor. There's nothing our oppressor can do to us that, well, I want to word this correctly. There's nothing our oppressor can do to us that can benefit us. There's nothing that they can do that benefits us. But the only thing that makes it seem beneficial is the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King had, which ended up being a nightmare. It's an illusion. You understand? The Bible is something that would benefit us because it's for us. You understand? Right. That's all I wanted to say. So
right, good brother. Hey. You had something you wanted to say, sis, or a question you had? Okay, Most High Christ. No sweat, Most High Christ.
Rambling on.
Oh, you too wild, bro. You too wild. Most High Christ. All right. Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee. The Bible from Genesis to Revelation is all about brotherhood, all of it. It's all about how to help one another, how to love each other, how not to be separate from one another, but to be the same, man. That's the problem our people have, is we think we're so different than the next brother or sister when we're the same and we're meant to be. We're meant to be on the same playing field. We're meant to be the same people who have the same culture, who love each other and who loves our God. That's the way we're supposed to be. But because of Christianity in America and the liberties and freedoms that your oppressor have given you over the last 50 years, we became so separate from one another that we think that now your socioeconomic status in life means something when it means nothing. You're still, like the brother said earlier, you're still just a nigger to your oppressor. You're still just a spick, a beaner, and a wetback to your oppressor. You're still a redskin and a squaw to your oppressor, no matter how much money you have. So why not be amongst your people? Live for your people. Live and help your people. Instead of trying to be American and Moor and Christian and Muslim, be who you are supposed to be. You're born into your uniform. That's the reason why you don't need no kufi, a man dress, or a Christian cross, because the Lord already gave you what you needed to identify who you were. You understand? The Jews are black, are so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. And if you're so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're an Israelite, man. You're the real biblical ethnic Jew. And you have every right to this book and this Bible. And it is our constitution that we're supposed to live by. You understand? So if your brother is waxing poor, you don't watch him and laugh and mock him. You don't use him, usury, not use. You don't make usury of them, meaning you don't charge them interest for what they owe you. You help your people, especially when they're in decay, especially when we're poor, especially when we're living in squalor and oppressed. You help your people, unlike what the churches have failed to do for the last 60 years. Verse 37, thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. Verse 38, I am the Most High your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. All right, this is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 39. Wakaya, Yamawa, Akaya, Aima, Wana Makar, Lak, La'a, Thaiba, Bawa,
Ibadath, Ibad, verse 40. Kasha Kayar, Katha Washab, Yahya, Imak, Id, Shanath, Hayabal, Yaibad, Imak, verse 41. Wayatazah, Maimak, Hawa'a, Salaki, Wabanyawa, Imawa, Washab, all, Masha Pakathwa, were all, Akazah, Abathua, Yashawah, verse 42. Kaya, Ibadya, Ashar, Hawatazaathia, Atham, Ma'arataza, Matazarium, La'ah, Yamakarwa, Mamakarath, Ibad, verse 43. La'ah, Tharadah, Bawa, Baparak, Wayara'ath, Salaki Ma'ala Ayak, Ma'ala Ayak, verse 44. Badak, Mathak, Ashar, Yahayawa, Lak, Ma'ath, Hagawayam, Hagarya, Ashar, Sabayabath Yakam, Maham, Thakwana, Thakwana, Salaki Thakwana, Ibad, Wa'amah, verse 45. Wagam, Mabanya, Hathawashabya, Hagarya, Imakam, Maham, Thakwanua, Mama Salakia, it's a tongue twister here. Salakia. Mama Shapa Salaki. Salakia. Mama Shapakatham. Mama Shapakatham. All right, Ashar. Imakam. Ashar. Hawalayadwa. Ba'aratazakam. Wahaya. Lakam. La'achazah. La'achazah. All right, this is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxing poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant, but as an hired servant and as a sojourner. Now, let me break this down, because white people use scriptures like this to enslave the Negro race, to enslave the West Indians, to enslave the Hispanics, to enslave the Native American Indian. The Bible is not teaching you to enslave anyone. The Bible here, when it says stranger, sojourner, your brother, bond servant, maid servant, you are hired to this person. Like right now, if you work for Amazon, you're hired to Jeff Bezos. If you work for, what's the company? Oh, man. Say it again, sis. No, I said Amazon, Jeff Bezos. You hired Jeff Bezos. Let's give me another big company. If you work for J.D. Hunt Trucking Company, you're hired to J.D. Hunt. If you work for UPS, I don't know who owns UPS. If you work for Facebook or you work for Meta, you are a hired servant to, what's the devil's name? The weird devil that owns Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. If you work for Tesla, you are hired servant to Elon Musk. God forbid if you work for Trump. You're gonna have to touch it, Elisha. You are a hired servant to that nasty oppressor, Donald Trump. This is what it means to be a hired servant. It don't mean you whipping their back and you are beating them half to death and raping them and stealing their identity and taking their language. That's not what a servant is. A servant is an employee. That's it. If some woman is your maid servant, she's cleaning your house. That's all she's doing. She's cleaning your house. She's watching your kids for you, an au pair. She's doing your dishes. She's cooking food. As you work and as your rib works and as the kids go to school or being homeschooled, that's her job. Is not to force her to have sex with you like the white man did our mothers and grandmothers. That was their slavery. That's what they thought slavery was. That's not what slavery is in the Bible. Everyone understand? Servant is not a slave. You're a servant. You're a servant working for Jeff Bezos at Amazon. You're a servant working for some cooking, some restaurant. You Issacharite, La Raza, in La Cocina. You are a servant. You understand? It don't mean anything. The meaning is not meaning that you have no dignity or you have no rights or you're not a human being. You're 3/5 of a man. So whenever you see servant, just think about you working for Amazon, because that's what most of our people do, or Uber or Lyft, right? You're just a servant. You're an employee. You're working for someone so that you can receive a paycheck, so that you can receive money at the end of the day to take care of your family and your children. That's the way it was back then. It's the way it is now. Everyone understand? Go ahead, Elisha. You had something you want to say?
Oh, just real quick on that point when you were talking about like your wife. Remember, and I'm about to be uploading a lot of that footage from that interview that we did, that oppressor. He had a problem with you saying that your wife was your possession. Remember? And then you cut him because he was a Trump supporter. He was a big Charlie Kirk and Trump supporter. And he was like, you got a problem. Basically, he had a problem with you saying that your wife is your possession. And he voted for Donald Trump, who said,
you can grab a woman
by her private parts.
Yeah.
You just, willingly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's why the Bible is such a beautiful thing, because it gives us a foundation. It gives us a base.
Yeah,
just because my wife, or the Bible says a man that getteth the wife getteth the possession. We know how to care for our possessions.
That's right.
We don't treat our possessions just any type of way.
That's right.
The reason why they had an issue of you saying that your wife is your possession is because the way that Americans and the Christian church possess things. They are cruel, they are wicked, and they are disgusting.
That's a good point.
You understand? And that's the point. Like, we know how to care for our possessions. We don't just treat our ribs or any possession. I'm not going to treat anything as if I don't care for it or take care of it. You understand? The Lord gave Adam Eve. He gave Adam. Oh, I thought you said something. He gave Adam. He gave Adam the possession of the land and the animals and everything else, and he cared for it. He named it. He took care of it. He took care of the things that the Lord gave him. Right. And so do we. You understand? Right. And that's why the Bible is such a beautiful thing, because it gives us a foundation, and we know how to care for our possessions, and that's not a bad thing. Yeah, right. Regardless, in contrary with our oppressor, they're just horrible leaders. That's right. And if anything they possess, they're going to be cruel. They're going to be cruel, they own a damn wicked, and disgusting. Monkey, they own damn. They own goddamn children, Salaki. God, they're cruel, disgusting, and wicked, Salaki. Get a brother hand. That's the truth. It's the same with being a servant, right? Yeah. You're just an employee. You're working for a paycheck to live. That's it. I don't want to say to live, because in a righteous kingdom, you're not working to live. You're having money so that you can purchase things, but you don't have. It won't be like this, right? How in America you have to work. You have to have a job, or else you will be out on the streets. You go to jail, and you're going to go to jail because it's illegal to be homeless. But in a righteous society where the righteous rule as opposed to the wicked ruling, you don't have to work to have a home. Why? Because if you're waxing poor, there are people that have money that's going to help you. So you don't have to be homeless because you don't have any money. That's a righteous society. Not this kingdom. My God, the white man wants you to work until you're 70. The new retirement age is like 70 or some garbage like that. It was 63 when I was a kid. They changed it to 65 when I was an adult. Now as an older adult, they changed it to 70. They're just going to keep pushing it until you're dead and you will never retire, because that's what our oppressor wants, is slaves, not servants, not someone that just works for you when they can, not someone who has a scheduled shift to work for you. You're not going to kill them. They're going to die. I'm not working them until they're 80 years old. They're working until they're ready to damn retire, until they want to stop, right? The moment that they want to stop getting the things that they have to pay for, they can stop, right? Which is the things that purses, bags, clothes. The moment you build up enough of that, you don't have to work. Just let somebody take care of you. Let somebody help you with life. You understand? That's a righteous society, not this society. That Social Security is supposed to be going to the elderly. It does not. You understand? They missing payments and skipping payments. Elderly people, back in the 70s, the elderly people had to eat cat food and dog food because of how poor they were, because they didn't receive the Social Security check that they were supposed to receive. That was displayed on that show, Good Times.
right? Where that sister was eating dog food and they found out, Michael found out, because that's what was going on. Because our oppressor is cruel, like the officer said, and wicked and evil and disgusting, and just treats people terribly. But we will not, when Christ comes back to rule this place, we will not. This is Leviticus chapter 24 and verse 40. But as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year Jubilee. Verse 41. And then shall he depart from thee. And then shall he depart from thee, Salakia, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and until the possession of his father shall he return. Verse 42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy power. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. That is a slave, a bondman and a bondwoman, meaning they're not getting paid to work. They're indebted to you. So their service is them paying off that debt. That's a slave. Guess what? We still can't rape them. You still don't rape them and steal their identity. Some Africans are bondmen, some Hittite or Jebusite or Amorite. We're not raping their daughters. We still allow them to marry. We still allow them to have their, whatever their culture is. We still allow them to eat what we eat. We still allow them to be humans. We're not making them inhumane, right? We're not treating them like animals. We're still being kind to them. They're just slaves. They're just bondmen and bondwomen, meaning we're not paying them. They're in debt to us, right? Because of some war that was fought or somebody. That's how it always worked out. Right, but they're damn sure not being raped by us, and we're not raping their daughters, and we're not taking their language or stealing their identity. That's what was done to us when we were bondmen and bondwomen. That's not what we did to other nations when they were our bondmen and bondwomen. They still kept their culture, kept their language, kept their names. They just was known as property of Sister Shapala, property of Priest Elisha, property of Malak. That's it. They still have their names. If it was an African, one of them Badumbu names, they still kept it. We didn't strip people of their humanity. Everyone understand, like the white man have always done when he has a servant or not. You don't even have to be a bondman of the goddamn white man. If you're his secretary, he's going to rape you. Like what's his name? Harvey Weinstein. If you coming into for a job interview, he's going to rape you. Damn, you don't even have to be a bondman or bondwoman for the white man to exploit you. You just got to exist because they're cruel and there's something fundamentally wrong with white people. Let's keep going. Verse 45. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, and they shall be your possession. That's it. Yeah, I stopped at verse 45. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 46. Wathana Nakalatham. Wathanakalaki. Wathanakalafam. Atham. Labunyakam. Akaryakam. Larashath. Akazah. La'ila. Salakia. La'ilam. Baham. Thigh badua. Waba Akyukam. Banya Yasha'ala Ayash. Ba'akyua. La'a. Tharada. Bawa. Baparak. Verse 47. Just waiting for it to load, There we go. All right, verse 47. Wakaya. Dashia. Yad, Gar, Watawasha, Imak, Wamak, Achayak, Imawa, Wanamakar, Lagar. Throw it, tap it. Went off like Salaki. I got it. Because I got to turn it on now. I keep forgetting. Next time, this ain't never happened before, so I don't know why it's doing it now.
Screen, you must got a timer on the screen. So
Yeah, but I never changed that timer. And it's still doing it. I don't know. We about to be done. All right, we should be back up. Go ahead, clap it up. So, lucky for those technical difficulties. All right. We're in Leviticus 25, verse 47. Wakayah, Fashayah, Yad, Gar, Watawashah, Imak, Wamak, Akayak, Imawa, Wanamakar, Lagar, Thawashah, Imak, Iwa, Laipor, Mashapukath, Gar, verse 48. Acharya, Namakar, Ga'ala, Thahaya, Lawa, Akkad, Ma'achayak, Salaki Ma'akiwa, Yaga, Ga'ala Yanawa, verse 49. So like, where am I stopping, Elisha? I started at verse 46.
Started at 46.
The water says, I started at 46, the water says. All right, Awa, Dadawa, Awa, Ban, Dadawa, Yaga Allah, Salaki, Yaga all Nawa, Awa, Masha'ar, Basharwa, Mama Shapak, Thua, Yaga, all Salakia, all Noah, Yaga all Noah, Awa, Hashayaga, Yadawa, Wanaga all, verse 50. Wakasha, Ain, Quana Salakia, Quana Hawa, Mashanath, Hamakor, Salakia, Hamakarwa, Lawa, Ide, Shanath, Hayabal, Waya, Kasap, Mamakor, Bamasapar, Shanyam, Kayamya, Shakayar, Yahya, Imawa, verse 51. Iwad, Rabawath, Bashanyam, Labya, Salakia, that's a one word, Salakia, Bashanyam, Labayahan, Yashia, Galathwa, Makasap, Makwanathwa, verse 52. Ma'ait, Nasha'ar, Bashanyam, Shanath, Hayabal, Wakasha, Lawa, Kapya, Shanya, Salaki, Shanyua, Yashia, Bath, Ga'alathwa. All right. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Verse 47. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger, or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him. Or if he be able, he may redeem himself. Verse 50. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him. Verse 51. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. Verse 52. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. Go ahead, sis, you had a question?
So I was going to say, just and kind of in reference to like the redeeming of the possessions and things like that. In the state of Missouri, like if you lose your house to like property taxes and stuff, and someone else buys it, they have a year to be able to come back and redeem that property that you purchased.
Well, you know where they got that from. You know, that's where oppressor and that's where civilized societies get their laws from, is the Bible. All civilized Western societies, Eastern societies get their laws, their lifestyle, their code of ethics from the Bible, right? So yes, I didn't even know that was a law, but I'm sure of it because the Bible says so. So Most High Christ gives us the hand. We get that straight out the Bible, like they do everything else. This is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 53. Kashakayar, Shana, Bashana, Yahya, Amawa, La'ah, Yaradanwa, Baparak, La'ayanak, Salakia, La'ayanayak, verse 54. All right. Wa'am, La'ah, Yaga'al, Ba'al, Ba'ala, Wayataza'ah, Bashana, Hayabal, Awa'ah, Wabanyawa, Imawa, verse 55. Kaya, Laya, Banya, Yasha'ala, Ibadyam, Ibadya, Hum, Ashar, Awataza'athya, Awathum, Ma'arataza, Matazarium, Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, verse 56. Or we going to 26 and 1. All right. La'ah, Thaishua, Lakam, Alayalam, Wapasal, Wamatazabah, La'ah, Thakwayamwa, Lakam, Wa'akan, Mashakayath, La'ah, Thakanawa, Ba'aratazakam, Lasha, Thakwa, Aliyah, Kaya, Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, verse 2. Ath, Shabbathya, Thashamarawa, Wamakwadashya, Thayara'awa, Anya, Yahweh, verse 3. Baka Quathia, Salakia, Thalakwa, Wa'ath, Matazawathia, Thashamawarya, Thashamarawa, Wa'aishatham, Atham, verse 4. Wanathapia, Gasham Yakum, Ba'itham, Wanathana, Ha'arataza, Yabawala, Yabawal, Salakia, Wa'itaza, Haishada, Yathan, Salakia, Pariwa. All right, yes, you want to say that you had a question?
Oh, my question, just another statement.
Go ahead.
It kind of goes back to what Priest and Officer Elijah was saying earlier about the whole Christian church thing not helping the people.
Mhm.
So there was this food distribution this morning, not far from here, over at Metropolitan at the church.
Mhm.
But it wasn't actually the church giving out the food. It was a sorority group
Mm.
that actually distributed the food. They just
They
utilized
use the church
the church.
because somebody in that sorority attends that church and want to make their church look good.
Right. So, but the line was like super, super long, right? And when I say long, like this line wrapped from, if you know where Metropolitan is, it's right there on Linwood, but it's like a couple blocks down from here. That line wrapped all the way back down here and circled around in that parking lot over there where that Sunfresh used to be.
Ooh.
But it's amazing how they gave out all this food or whatever, but then there's still people that like, which never ceases to amaze me, go, oh, I don't want to wait in that line or whatever just to get food or whatever. It's like, that doesn't really make sense considering you're saying you don't have anything.
Right.
And then these are the same people like, oh, I'm not getting any stamps or whatever and stuff,
Right.
you know. But then you turn around, these are the same people that get in a line that's a mile long to wait for the new latest greatest iPhone,
Madden,
PlayStation,
2K.
whatever. It's like, that doesn't even make sense to me. But then they tell you, God will provide for me.
Mm.
I literally heard that today.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, yeah, okay.
And with the sister, if I may, since I'm gonna give her a hand, because she noticed something that most Black people don't notice is that the Christian church is a poison to cancer. That whole thinking, which is and I heard Captain Others, I say this at a camp speaking just recently, which was so heavy. That whole, I have a personal relationship with Jesus. Christian preachers taught that to us so that they can absolve themselves of all the responsibility for us. If you got a personal relationship with Jesus, I don't got to call my pastor when I'm sick, when I'm hungry, when I'm starving, when I'm in squalor, I'm in poverty. A tap at the light shot. I don't have to call him. Why? Because I can just use my personal relationship like it's a phone call. Yeah, you too wild. Like it's a phone call with Christ and just call him up on the main line and tell him what I want. And God will provide. That's the problem with our people. Christianity is the sole problem with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Kind of goes with the conversation I was having this morning.
Mhm.
Tasha Cobbs
The gospel singer?
Gospel singer.
Mhm.
She has a song it's called He Knows My Name.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
if you
familiar
read
with
the
that song,
lyrics to
unfortunately.
the song, that's exactly what it's basically alluding to. He knows my name. So you got this personal relationship with God, and that's what she's saying in the song. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's exactly what it's saying. And I hear a lot of people say that, but they can never explain to you like how they have a personal relationship with God, how it's developed. I mean, you know, and then there's a really, really old song you may know this from like grandparents and stuff. The one about they go in the closet. She had to go in the closet. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, sis. That's the reason why they standing in that bread line. Because they have a personal relationship with Jesus. They don't have a relationship with Command and Yahanna, or else they wouldn't have to stand in the bread line. They got a relationship with a man that's in heaven. Our King is alive, but he's in heaven, and he don't talk to you. And that's why you're in the bread line. Because if you could talk to Jesus, don't you think Jesus would keep you from being poor? He would stop you from needing EBT if you can just say, Jesus, I need you. Elisha, tap that what you tapped again. Because it's something that's popped up.
I didn't even see what I tapped.
Right there, that blue. Yep, hit that. There you go. You good. That's the reason why they're in the prayer line, sis.
Basically, just what you just said. I mean, if they could just say, Jesus, I need you, though, but would he still come, even though you haven't made any changes, you're not following the law, statutes, and commandments?
Yeah, listen, give her a hand.
So,
that's the difference between someone in here and someone out there. A Christian don't believe you have to follow law, statutes, and commandments because they don't believe the law, statutes, and commandments even exist. So like it, like shot. For time's sake, we got to be out of here at 1:30.
Oh, good.
They don't believe that they even exist, sis. Well, that's the reason why they say
the law no longer.
Yeah, and see how the church strips us of responsibility. We're not responsible for our own actions. We don't have to keep the laws. We don't have to even ask the pastor for help when we need it because we can just have a personal relationship with Jesus. It strips your ability to have accountability. And that's an important thing to have is accountability for your own life and your own actions. It's one of the most important things you can have as an adult. But it strips us of that, and it just has us be kids all over again. But we depend on Daddy in the sky. We depend on Jesus. We got personal relationships with Jesus. Like he's your physical father on earth. Like he's your pastor that you see every day. You don't have a personal relationship with Jesus. If you did, you wouldn't be standing in a line for food when the government cuts off your EBT. All right, let's keep going. Salakia, like shop for time's sake. All right, this is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 53. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. Verse 55, for unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Most High, your power. 26 and 1. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am the Most High, your power. Verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Most High. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, verse 4, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. All we got to do is serve the Most High. Brother, your life will change if you serve God and come into this school, the truth, the I.S.U.P.K, Commander Julian. Your life will change, brothers and sisters. All you have to do is make that oath. All you have to do is take that leap. All you have to do is obey the Lord. And I know it's saying all you have to do like it's easy, because it is easy. It's not hard to put down pork and shrimp and give up Christianity. The hard thing is the punishments that's going to come from not giving up those things. With that being said, I imagine this me up here.
SHALAM to Israel.
All right, Majum, everyone stand. All right. Wapanya Gudan, which means to rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemaya. Kodash. I.S.U.P.K. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Sabbath. Ratazah. Ayah. Aisha. Baratazah. Kowa. Ayah. Bashemaya. Nathanawa. Gapam. Call. Yawam. Wasalak now. Kabawaf now. Kasalak now. Kabawafi now. Wala'a. Nabaya now. Banasaya one. Abal. Our shine now. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wa'ala. Wa'agapara. Awalamyam. Aman. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. A cop prayer for the power. Yahweh. By Shimei Shah. Abba Koshah. Nathanda now. A cop. A cop. La Pa'a. Call Makala. Or call Manawa. A cop. That's a hard. Amatazariah. A cop. La Hakwim. A Mathium. A cop. Our Kawa. The Tama Allah. The Garashan. Shimei Shah. So what Aman. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirit. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh. By Shimei Shah. Barak Manawa. Wayashala. Waha. By Yatsapari. Barak. Rapa. Magun. By Shimei Shah. What we just said was Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah. Bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121. Asha'a. Ayanya. Ahahari. Ma'ayan. Yama'a. Isaiah. Ma'ai. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemaiah. Wa'aratazah. All your son. Lamawat. Regal. All Yanawam. Shamar. Ana. La'a. Yanawam. Wala'a. Yayashan. Shalamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Tazalta. Al-Yah. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Ashamash. La'a. Yakar. Wayara. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamar. Makara. Yashamar. After Pastor. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza After. Waba'a. Ma'aitha. Wa'ai. Alam. Aman. I will lift my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. So be it.
Psalms 83. Alahaya.
Alahai,
All the Mayalaka.
all the right,
All the Farash.
all the
Well, all the Sukwat.
cross,
All the Yahanna.
they are not,
Our Yapika.
Yabi,
Yahanna Yawan. Wamashinaya. Nasha Owa. Ra'ash. Al Aimaka.
Alan,
Yaira Yamu. Sawa.
Sawa,
Where say your eye Tazawa. Al Tazak Mawanyika. Amawa. Lakawa. Wanakakila. Mogoya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha,
Aiwa. Kaya. Now I Tazawa. La. Yakadwa. Ali. Arya. Yakaraswa. Ahali. Adawam. Wayashama Alwa. Mawa Abba. Lagari. The ball. Wa Aimawa. Wa Aimala. Palasha. I'm your Shabbos. Tazawu. God Ashawu. Nalawa. Imam. Iowa. Zarawa. Labanyalawat. Salah. Aisha. Lahum. Combated. Kasaya Sara'ah. Kayabi. Manakal. For Yashwan. Nashamata. Ayanda Ara. Iowa. Daman. La Adama. Shea Thumble. Nada Yahweh. Ka'ira. Because of Abba. Because of Abba. Because of Zalmanah. Call to say a come. I like Shaki tap it real fast. I like. Call to say a come.
Call to say a come.
Ashar. Amawa. Hey, Rashad.
Wow, too late.
Oh, okay. Salaki. The one I had just caught it too when it did that. Salaki.
I was thinking the whole time.
No, you good. We back on. All right. So calling to say a come one. So like, let me find my spot. Hold on. Here we go. Ashar. I'm a wa. Hey, Rashad. The Noah. Nahawa. Alahaya. Alahaya. Shea. Thunder. Kagogala. Salaki. Hold on. Kakwash. Lapanyaraka. Ka'ash. Daba Iria Ab. Salaki. Daba Iria Ira. Wakalahaba. Dalahat. Aryan. Khan. Daba Dakwa. Basa Ira. Wabasa Apostolos. Daba Alam. Mala'a. Panyam. Palawan. Wabakwashli. Shamkat. Ya'awa. Yabashwa. Wabahalu. Ivy Eye. Wabaparu. Wabakwa. Where the Ira, Kaya, Asa, Shamka, Yahweh, the Baka, Al, the one, Al, Paul, Rataza, Aman. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Israelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perished indoors. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zed. Yea, all their princes, as Abbas and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth the wood, and as a flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So be it. Salaki says we're going fast because of the time. Salaki. The prayer for the blessings of the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayakal, Wa Alahaya, Matazak Yaha, Alawak Yaha, Ha Alawak, Ha Surrenders, Ha Patazayanis, Ha Kayaho, Wa Wafi, Yahweh, Ha Shimya Shai, the one Aman. And the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, the commanding general Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Saw, which means to turn. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Go ahead, Elisha. Salute the Torah. Yeah, my shimmy, I shot right. Yeah. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, I advise them Shabbat. I admire you. Barak, Yahba Shimmy al Shah Bragathum. Yajmatah, Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I advise them Shabbat. I admire you. Barak, Yahweh Shemar al-Adhan by Shimmy al Shah.
Yahweh Shemar al-Adhan by Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Yajmatah, dismissed.